Are you looking for the best welder plasma cutters? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best welder plasma cutters on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Lotos. As a gunsmith, I did not need a plasma cutter. Then one day I saw someone selling the steel targets for rifle shooting and the plate rack someone drug out to the range, and I needed a way to make some of my own. That convinced me that I needed a plasma cutter. With my newfound need to have a plasma cutter, I did not include the fact that I don't really know how to use one in my equation. So like all of my heavy-duty decisions, I just jumped in and started figuring it out, as I went, most of the time very poorly. What I have in my corner is YouTube, where everything in the world is taught, and Joel's phone number and good whiskey lure him here to show me how to do it correctly. I have also seen several YouTube reviews doing metal penetration tests to show penetration and power demonstration. So, I don't need to cut more than half an inch of thick metal, some of which will be the AR 500 and some mild steel plates. I don't need to cut the boilerplate or anything like that. A cheaper maker will do just fine, and I am not in a hurry and don't make my living on this to afford the time for cool down times. Number 2. BestArc. This machine uses a 220/240V line and an adapter to use 110V. Others will use the 110V and then adapt up to the 220V. So, this one wins on that front. It has much better quality and dependability to build to handle the higher voltage and then drop down to house current. The old version of this machine used a dial to measure the air pressure. Now, the air gauge is digital. This is not a great idea for air pressure, as it never sits still or is static. Once the trigger is pulled, the air pressure will change. The way this works the best, especially for a tool like a plasma cutter that uses the air to blow out the molten steel, is to set the pressure to, say, 70 psi, then pull the trigger, watch the pressure, and adjust the knob to be 70 psi when the machine is using the air. This plasma cutter went to Joel's house to test his plasma CNC. To our surprise, it worked like a champ. And now we have a bunch of steel targets to practice within the desert. We set the unit at 50 and ran it on 240V because the plasma cutter he had on the unit was wired to the setup. Number 3. YesWelder. According to everyone on YouTube who pays for their equipment for their home shops, this machine by YesWelder is considered the best plasma cutter for home use. And after getting my hands on one, I know why. This thing should cost more than it does. I have a 220V service in my shop, so I plug into it whenever I need it. At 220V, it works like a trooper and does not hesitate to do what I need it for. It struggled slightly when I plugged it into the 110V to see what it could do. I will cut the metal. It is a little slower and kinda overwhelming on the 110V for cutting the 1/4 inch plates. One issue with the YesWelder Touch is that the company lacks replacement tips. Go to Home Depot and get one off the shelf and a bunch of replacements for a typical maker, and then get away with the 1 cent with the plasma cutter. This machine is an auto body worker's dream machine. The unit will cut that metal like butter and only needs an extension cord. The machine is light enough to be hauled around the car, not the other way around, and moving the car all the time. The size of the cutter is nice and small, about the same size as the black and white dog that lives next door. Number 4. ToolIom. This thing looks like it was made by a race car company, which, in my opinion, makes it the best plasma cutter under $300. I don't know why, I just love it. The orange and black color palette is very tough looking. The machine was packaged perfectly and arrived like it had just been placed in the box that morning. When I pulled this out of the box, I found a little screw in the box and began to look for its home. I found that it fell out of the aluminum heat sink bar. I tried to put it back, and the hole was stirred, or the screw was too short, I don't know. I grabbed another screw from the bottle of screws that did not need to be thrown away, and it fit perfectly, especially when I pushed a little harder. It fit like it was born there. The air hose that comes with the machine may be the Chapes tire hose made in China and should be replaced. Save the headaches and put a new piece of hose on, even if it doesn't leave the factory. The pressure adjustment knob leaked a little when I turned it up. When I looked into this on YouTube, one site told me that it might be the way they address moisture. Number 5. S7 Plasma Cutter. For anyone who wants one of these handy, this one will do all the jobs for about $150. Why would anyone not get one of these for that price and its ability to replace the never-ending grinder wheel action? This is not a metal shot plasma cutter and does not claim to be one. The power cord is terminated with a dry plug, so that should let everyone know how much work this is designed to do. The air regulator is mounted through the metal skin, and I had to open the box to put the bolts through the holes and then tighten them up. This is not a big deal. I expected this kind of stuff for the price. While inside the skin, I looked around for other loose stuff to see if there were any apparent problems or waiting to become an issue later. The inside looks clean and well assembled, so good job on that front, S7. The ground wire is short, not as short as some, but I use it for a machine that should sit on the ground wheel. A 4-foot wire is kind of dumb. It was easy to move the machine or the metal to a different place or get a new ground wire and put it on, so I did that method of fixing a simple thing.